So welcome to Planning Mindfully. And today we have a guest, Stephanie Weaver. She is a full-time artist and art business coach. So I put her URL on the side there. So be sure to check her out because she's got an awesome community of positive painters. And they're not just painters. They are all different types of artists, from charcoal, graphite to oil painting, watercolorists, surface pattern designers, illustrator, Photoshop, photographers, you name it. And it's great community to get positive feedback and interaction about all things art for business. And if you're not for the business, just for the learning. She's also a full-time art business coach and has years of experience from a management background, risk management background. She will help you get all those obstacles that come when you just don't think you can meet your goals and make this a business. Can, with the help of Stephanie. So on to why we're here today, planning mindfully. I thought it would be fun. Really, I can't take full credit for this idea. I'll give that credit to Stephanie. If I started planning with guests. And so Stephanie and I are going to do this and see where it leads us for the next few weeks, and hopefully a lot of fun and a lot of learning. But through interacting together, I think we can expand on the knowledge of how we plan our days and weeks, because we both plan very similarly. So anyways, hey, Steph, do you want to say anything?
Hey, well, thank you for having me on your show. I am so excited to be here, and I am a big advocate of your planner. Like when you become, when I coach you, you actually get Julie's planner, because it's just probably the best planner that I've seen. I've been managing projects for like 20 something years, I guess. And, I've got my PMP and all that jazz. And it's one of these planners that is, I think, really well designed for those who have the creative minds. And especially as entrepreneurs, we got to be able to move things around pretty easy. And this
very true.
That. So I love this planner. So when you get with me, you're going to get the planner too. And so thank you for having me. I'm excited about today.
I know. I'm really excited to see where this leads us. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and always better being able to interact versus me just talking to the camera week to week. Yeah. It's only our third week, but hey, 1 week at a time, and we'll continue to improve. So let's get started. So the first thing I like to do that I haven't been showing on the last couple episodes is just check out my vision board real quick and take a look at where I am.
Now, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Is that okay?
No. Yes, totally. That's why we're doing this.
Okay. How did you get to your vision board so quickly? Like I know we're using Note Shelf together, and I always have to go. What I've been doing is going up here to this little paper thing and then scrolling up till I found it. How did you get there so fast?
The tabs are clickable.
Bless her heart. I'm so pretty. Okay, hold on.
Why this did come out last year, because I wanted those darn tabs to show up and be clickable. So I just hit vision board.
Okay, let me find that.
There it is. There you go.
Okay, sorry.
No, that's a great question, because I just assume everybody knows that, but not all notebooks that you download are clickable like that. So
that's so true. Okay.
Yeah. The other little fancy dancy thing that you can do if it's not a clickable tab is you can hit the two pieces of paper like you were.
Yeah.
And then click edit. And you can select a page. And you can share that page. You can duplicate that page. You can rotate it. And then under more, you can copy, tag, and move. The other thing is you can bookmark a page.
Yeah.
So you can go see your bookmark pages. So if you want to bookmark a page, like I want to bookmark the vision page, then, the two little pieces of paper, you hit the little sliders and you say, see bookmarked. So that'll show you what you've already bookmarked. But if you haven't bookmarked anything yet, or you want to bookmark something, like let's say you want to bookmark something in your notes to go back, like our one of the peer groups, I'm trying to take better notes so I remember what people are doing each week so I can hold them accountable like they're holding me accountable. So I just go to the plus sign and, oh gosh, I'm on the spot here. Am I going to remember where this is? Bookmark page. So I hit the little tag on the far right. Say bookmark page to green. And you can give it a fancy color and stuff, and you can give it a name.
Oh, very cool.
So that's how you can bookmark a page.
Okay.
And you can also put tags on a page so that when you search for stuff, you can easily find it. But, you know, I haven't gotten that fancy yet.
Yeah. I've done that in another notebook, but I haven't done it in this notebook. Okay.
After last year, I'm finding it hard just to even keep up with my schedule. So, or my tasks, just for whatever reason. So I'm just trying to get back into that habit again. But yeah, I just like to take a double check of, you know, reading a lot about manifestation and law of attraction and watching stuff. So I'm just trying to look at that more and more. Then I will go and I like to highlight my week in yellow. And oh my gosh, how is it the last week of January already?
I know. So you highlight your week in yellow. Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Because they all start looking the same. And, you know, so it's just nice to have a quick little edit. And then the next thing I do is look at my calendar for the week and see what all I've got going on. So I know I have a
Everybody's just seeing the top of my head. Sorry. I'm like in it. Okay. So I did this thing last week where I actually made a color key because I have a really hard time remembering what my colors are for. So I found out you can actually do the selection tool and then you can copy it. And now I can bring it over here.
Yep.
And then just paste it somehow. Let's see. There it is.
Paste. Yeah, you hold down the mouse for just a minute or two.
Yeah.
Or not the mouse, the Apple Pencil.
So now I've got that in there. So now I can try and do it. And Julie's handwriting is like way better than mine.
Well, another little trick to the handwriting part is zooming in. It helps a ton because I have the little grid there, so it helps keep you on track.
Yeah.
A little bit. Let's see. Now I forgot what my schedule looks like.
Yeah, where's my schedule?
Okay. Okay, we have a meeting at 9:30.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. Oh, what's my color? So I've also figured out last week that I can actually have special little, I've got my color codes.
Uh-huh.
I've been working in your calendar for like what, 2 years now? and I'm like always I'm continuously learning. So anyway, I've got like a color code for other artists. So when I participate with like other artists and do things like that one is a particular color. And I found out that you can create favorites in your color pens. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Man, okay, behind the times.
Yep. In fact, now I have the problem. I have too many favorites, so I need to pare it back again.
Yeah. So you pick a color and add a little heart to it, and they show up in your favorites. So now I can just go to my favorites, grab that color. All right. So on Monday, are you going to John Middick's live stream?
Yeah, I was going to try to make that on Monday. I don't have anything else this week, so I should be able to.
So there's my little. And I'll be honest, I'm one of those people that multitask on that.
I do too. I listen to it, and I mean, I'd like to get my color pencils out, but I left them at the mill, so.
Good grief, you're already on Wednesday. What are you doing?
Huh?
You're already on Wednesday? Okay. Anyway,
But I have a lot of reoccurring meetings this coming week. I don't really have anything new this week. So,
oh, and you go like, so your way of doing is you do recurring meetings and then you go back and do like
mhm.
appointments and
Right.
got it.
Yep.
That's probably a good idea. Let me see if I can figure out that. All right, so it's still in red. Well, that's great. I was on the wrong week.
Guess what? You can just select it all and copy it over, cut it and paste it.
Just bless your heart. I'm having all sorts of pretty moments today. Zoom meeting. Yeah, I learned this last week. One of the things I was trying to do is also document all my unplanned things.
Uh-huh.
So I've now have a black pen category of unplanned things, and that way, because one of the things that I do when I put together my schedule is like all the things that I didn't get to, I try and
Yep.
copy and bring those over. And it also makes me kind of reevaluate whether they were actually something I should be doing. Because just because you can doesn't mean you should. You know what I mean?
True. Very true. Yeah, like I noticed this week, well, I had the conference for 2 days this week, and then I just felt like playing and creating, which I really didn't really create anything, but I just didn't feel like doing anything. Got behind. I didn't do my blog post for yesterday. And so I'm like, well, I'll catch up. I got to finish my newsletter for the week and stuff like that. But it happens to the best of us.
Yeah. I have days like those.
But you get so inspired by all this cool stuff you see, and it's like, oh, I want to try that. Oh, let me try this. And that's more of what my week ended up being.
Let me
So when
see.
we're doing this, do you are you at a point where we can kind of talk about time blocking a little bit? Because I know we had that conversation the other day,
Yeah.
and I think people out there could possibly use some more information about time blocking because I think it scares people. I don't know. It's such an easy way to plan, but
Yeah.
you really have to know yourself in order to plan appropriately, I think.
And I think that's like, one of the reasons I created that little black category where it was like unplanned,
Mm-hmm.
maybe. Because like when I look at, I'll show you last week's. Last week or this week, depending on when you're looking at it, this is a hot mess, folks. But it lists like everything that I actually have done. And when you go through Julie's program where we talked about step number 4, I think it is. And this, if you go to Positive Painters, this course is available on the Lunch and Learn, and Positive Painter Pro members get this. So one of the tasks was to assign durations to your tasks to complete your goals, right?
Yep.
So one of the big differences between there's a difference between duration and effort. So most people think of it's going to take me 3 hours to do this. Well, that's your effort. That's how long it should take you, assuming nothing else happens and you've got everything down, no interruptions, and so on. That's assuming you've got those things. So duration is how long in the real world those 3 hours would actually come into play, because like how often, as as a mom, are
Mhm.
you going to get to sit there for 3 hours uninterrupted with what we have this pandemic going on with virtual school without your kids coming in there?
Exactly.
So those 3 hours duration wise might take you actually the full 6 hours in a work day. That's if you assuming you work 6 hours in a day.
Right.
And so I know when we got to talking a little bit about that, like, I do these videos, like the lunch and learn video thing. It was an hour and a half actual video, but it takes 3 times as long to edit the videos. So that's like what, 4.5 hours that you have to
Right.
plan for. Well, considering processing time of your computer
Yeah.
and download time, so that's actually a full day. That's a full 6 hours. Nothing else getting done.
Exactly.
So you got to kind of think about how long is it actually going to take you in the real world, not your,
Mhm.
I got 3 hours of uninterrupted time, because that just didn't happen.
No, it doesn't. And the other thing too is if you see something that has a duration of 4 to 6 hours that you know it's going to take, or even 2 hours, who is going to humanly sit there
Oh
for
yeah.
that 6 hours and do it? No one is. So how do you break that down into baby steps? I'm all about the baby steps, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're starting out with time blocking, you've never done it before, they actually recommend starting out in 15-minute increments,
Yeah.
which to me now is a little aggressive. I like to plan in 30 to 2 hour blocks of time. And even with a 2 hour block, I'm going to plan in there like a 15-minute, in quotes, interruption, or get up and use the bathroom, get a drink, sort of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Because that's the reality. So I'm really only getting an hour and 45 minutes versus 2 hours. But I know that mentally because I know myself. And that's why I say, like, with time blocking, I think you really need to understand yourself, which is why I think people don't like to use it, or they feel like they've failed at it. But if you feel like you're failing at it, you need to break it down into more baby steps,
Yeah.
smaller increments of time until you're comfortable with how long stuff takes you. But I remember when I started working full time for the first time, and I was introduced to a thing called a timesheet, because we billed our time to clients, and we
Yeah.
were required to bill our time in 15-minute increments. And I kind of like freaked out. I've always been a really good planner. I'm like, you're kidding me. I got to track what I'm doing every 15 minutes. Well, I can make phone calls and well, there wasn't really email at that time, but and emails and work on this drawing all within 15 minutes for 3 different clients. Like, what the heck? But then it really taught me to really hone in on what am I doing? Where am I spending my time? And my husband, he has to keep his time in 6-minute increments,
Oh my God.
which is,
Really?
yes,
Oh no.
that's insane. I
That's
was like, are
that
you
is
crazy?
so
I could not do that.
I
But when
couldn't
you
do
really think about it, when you're drafting an email or responding or reading an
that.
email or you're making a phone call, a lot of times those happen in 6 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, dang. But it's
Yeah,
like, okay, 6-minute bathroom break, go. No.
yeah, I know. But I mean, granted, a lot of the stuff that you're going to work on is going to take longer than that too. So
Yeah.
it's, you're going to sit down for 36 minutes and work on something, you're not going to. But yeah, I thought that was crazy. But that's really what time blocking is. And it's not worrying about the time of day, which is why there are no times in my planner.
Hmm.
That's why it works with your digital calendar that we all keep. It doesn't work against it because there's no times in there. It's just a block of time that you're trying to plan to. I'm going to sit down for an hour and I'm going to set a timer on my SIRI or my ALEXA, or something, and
Yeah.
say, okay, timer go off in 30 minutes. I have 30 minutes to work on it, and then evaluate, do I have just like 15 more minutes to finish it? Am I finished with it? Or is it going to take another hour? When am I going to do that? Am I going to slide something else off my day to do it somewhere else? Or am I going to save finishing this for this day based on the deadline? And that's where time durations and effort all come into play, I think.
Yeah. Well, I with the clients that I coach, it kind of comes into another way too. When we start talking about pricing artwork, and
Uh-huh.
I always start out with like, well, how many pieces can you complete like in a week? Or how many pieces can you complete in a month? And, or how long does a piece actually take you? Like an 8x10, how long does it take? And majority of the time, nobody knows. And you have to have an understanding of that base component before you can move on to say, how much money can I make a month?
Yeah.
You got to know how much can you produce. So there's an app, in addition to Alexa that I use, and it's called Focus Keeper. And
Uh-huh.
so that way, when I'm painting and I know I've got like an hour and a half before my next thing, I can have that going, and then when it's done, I'm like, okay, I'm done. And I know I can document at that point, I spent an hour and a half on X, and
Yep.
it builds to that. So it really helps with that.
It does. It really does help once you, and then once you know it, you feel so good because you start accomplishing so much more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, like my task list, I think I know I've said this before. I keep my an ongoing task list in Airtable,
Hmm.
and I have a duration column and a priority column so that when I'm doing my weekly calendar, I can say, okay, I'm going to work on X during this time.
Yeah, I
So,
like that. Yeah.
and it's going to take me X amount of time to do it. So,
Very cool. Yeah, it's fun. I don't know. I have a fun time planning. I can't wait till you get stickers so I can start putting stickers in here.
so I've started playing with it. I need, that's one of the things I've been playing with. And I'm like, okay, what exactly am I don't know, not really what's my style, but just kind of playing around with how I want to create them.
Yeah.
And, what I want the style of them to really be like. But I know I'm making some digital post-it notes. That's a must. And I already have, in fact, yeah, I already made some watercolor.
I know. I love those.
And I made some watercolor blocks for washi tape.
Ooh.
So I can make, and that's going to be kind of the first color palette of my series. But anyways, onward.
Oh, yeah. Another reason why I like those little timers, like Alexa.
Uh-huh.
I have tasks that I do that I just dread. And so by putting, I'm like, okay, for 20 minutes, I can focus for 20 minutes and get through this. And then, and I have those going. Like I am, like, social media is not my favorite thing in the world. And
Mine neither.
ugh, it's just, there's so many other things I'd rather be doing. And all right, I need a different color. Okay. So I'll put like a 40-minute timer to address a week's worth of social media content.
Yeah. I try to, I've actually just started dropping stuff into Spark,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll do 2 or 3 here and 2 and 3 there when, like, if I'm on a phone call or, like listening to John's thing on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I may sit there and do, half a dozen uh, social media posts during that time.
Oh, yeah.
So that way I'm not sitting down for an hour having to just focus on that, because then I get so sidetracked.
I'm double booked this week for Wednesday. So I'm going to have to flip things around a little bit.
Ooh, I need to finish my freebie for February. I haven't done that yet. Now, do you use each of the squares as like 15-minute blocks or something? Or do you use your squares differently as just guides?
I just the squares are there. I completely ignore them.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like drawing things in, like, okay, well, here's about where noon is. And yeah, no, sorry.
I was just curious.
Oops.
Some people don't use them, which is totally fine.
Well, my handwriting is haven't hard enough to stay nicely in the block. So I'm just like, you know, playing along here. Let's see. All right, so double book for that one. But you guys are handling, you've got the Zoom meeting for next Wednesday, I think.
Yes.
Okay, so that's my reoccurring stuff. And I think, oops. Oh, good. I'm so glad I'm on the wrong week. Earlier, I was like, Tyler's got another orthodontist appointment. What? Because, whenever you do that, you lose pretty much like 3 hours in your day.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right. I have nobody's got hair appointments. Nobody's got dentist appointments. Both kids are in braces. So it's just like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, good times. Okay. So that's all I got for that. I use ClickUp for my task management.
Yeah, I've been looking at that just because of the way the notifications work.
Yeah.
Which I know is why you switched to it as well.
Yeah, I actually bought the paid for version because after about like a month of using the free version, I'm like, they've earned my money because this program is really just phenomenal. And I'm not even using it at its full capacity because it's got the ability to track goals and do all that. And right now I'm using Airtable to track my goals. And I just need to learn more and ClickUp, I think, about it.
Yeah, that's the one thing I found is it's kind of it's quite the learning curve for me.
Yeah, I know.
I've gotten as far as creating the spaces in it for the different goals I have and in order to put the tasks down. But I haven't wrapped my head around it yet. Or I've just wrapped my head around Airtable.
Yeah.
But I love the way that ClickUp, you're right. I mean, the way that it can send you the notifications is such a benefit.
Yeah, and I like how I can actually keep track of all of my notes in it. Like I'm putting my processes in it. And one of the reasons why I picked it is because it can work with other people. Airtable could do that too, but they get notifications. So in my mind, I'm preparing for someday I'm going to have a virtual assistant. And here's what they're going to take care of. And that way I can document the process in there. And so it's, I know when they have it done and, I don't have to hover. That's the plan.
Right. No, I hear you.
Okay. So let me see. What's your big focus for next week? Did you already fill out that block?
No, I didn't. And that's what I'm sitting here looking at because there's so much I didn't get done this last week.
Oh,
I really I need to be videoing. I need to get more videos out there, but I really want to do more videos about my process of my art. And a few, I'm still going to do some of the planning and stuff, but I really want to start doing more on my art process. But I think I need to get the ones for the planner done next week that I didn't get done this week.
Yeah.
And I really need to get my undated planner complete and a masculine planner.
Yeah. I don't think I haven't even checked my big focus is, and you're gonna laugh at this. So you know how you're supposed to have one big focus?
Yeah.
There's my finger. There it is. One big focus. No, I've got like 4.
That's a lot.
I know, and I've been trying to work it down to just 3. And but you know, we've got one of them's going to go away like the end of this month. It's I think on the 29th, the giveaway that I'm doing.
Right.
Winter landscape, that project should be done this week too. And then every week I've got the videos, newsletter, and what I'm calling ABC. It's art business coaching. And then I'm working on that database. I haven't really messed with the database yet. So, okay.
Yeah. And you know, one thing that I really need to think about is, you know, my story, my emotional side to my business. You know, as one big theme in the conference I felt was, you know, how are you connecting with people
Yeah.
on an emotional level? And I'm not really good at that. You know, I keep a lot of stuff inside unless you're in my close inner circle.
Yeah.
But so one idea I had this week that I may explore is starting a little, you know, 2-3 minute video on finding inspiration. Where did I find inspiration this week?
I like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe just going live once a week
Mm-hmm.
and kind of talking about that, because I found so much inspiration at the conference, which, you know, not everyone thinks that you would do that at a conference. But then, you know, the week prior, I just happened to get into Pinterest. You know, I was so addicted to Pinterest for the longest time a couple of years ago. I just deleted that URL from my mind and never went to it.
No.
And now I'm slowly edging my way back into Pinterest. And so I'm working on the Positive Painters theme, the winter challenge. And my first one, I feel like it's total fail. So now you know, winter illustrations I Googled I searched on Pinterest, whatever you call it.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm starting over. But I found a lot of inspiration from the different ways to show trees, to cars, to, you know, again, I'm not copying anything, but I'm just trying to develop my illustration style digitally.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't drawn like that in years, and here I am trying to draw like that now. So
I would still be interested to see what your quote fail was. Because I can guarantee you that like I would look at it and go, holy crap, she did that digitally.
it's not all merging together. It involves a moon, and it's more photography turned into a painting. And
Yeah.
I'm just not happy with the way it's coming together. So, but I
Yeah.
rendered trees in Photoshop. I rendered snow in Photoshop. You know, so I learned a lot, but it's just not what I want it to be.
Wow. I'd still like to see, because that's one of those things. Like I know I would ask you, how did you do the trees and how did you do the snow? Because I don't know how to do any of those. You know, I'm like your Photoshop novice. You're the one that I go to whenever I have questions about it. Yeah, it was fun. I had a fail. I was working on my winter one too. I'm trying to do like a portrait.
Yep.
And because landscapes I got, you know,
Yep.
portraits I think I need work on. There's a certain style that I'd like to achieve.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, I can do them, but they look so smooth. And I like the painterly, loose
Yes.
portraiture that I see that painters do. And mine's just too smooth. I don't like it. So, so anyway, I was working on one, I guess it was Monday or Sunday night. And Emily came upstairs and she's like, well, that kind of looks like an alien. It's just the first layer.
Yeah, I know. It's at the ugly stage. Trust me.
The ugly stage. And I was getting frustrated with even the material that I was using because it was just soaking up the oil and I couldn't get the paint to move.
Yeah.
And so she was standing there kind of watching me paint. And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to do this on a different surface. And I took it and I just ripped it right up and all these little pieces. And she went, oh, why'd you rip it? And I was like, it made me feel better.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Just,
okay to do that.
yeah. And then I put all the pieces on the floor and took a picture of it because I'm like, even though it wasn't going in the direction I wanted to go, it was still a learning experience.
Yeah.
I'll eventually post a picture of it, but after I get it right.
Oh, it's so funny that you said that you tore it up and then took a picture of it, because one of the sessions that I listened to was an artist. He's a photographer, and it's Parker Pfister.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things he does for he'll take some of his photography, he will print it out, and then he'll rip it at a specific spot.
Mhm.
And then he'll take another piece of photography they did and rip it at a specific spot, combine them,
Interesting.
and take a photo of that. And that's his final piece.
Huh.
And it was really cool. Like, he had one image, which, I mean, so one of the images was a side view of somebody's breast, which I know sounds awful, but but it didn't look like that. Okay. And then, because it's black and white, and then he had a landscape scene where it kind of converged down to the center, and there was like a road or something. I don't remember exactly what was in the center there, but it was a path of some sort. And then, so the way that he ripped the two of them, when you put the other one, the lady's breast on the top, it looked like this really cool mountain.
Okay.
But I mean, you had to see it to understand. Yeah. I know my description of it, but anyway, my point being is there's just tearing stuff up can sometimes not only be gratifying, but it can turn into something else.
So maybe I should start keeping those, because I had it on the floor I just threw it out today. And so I had it on the floor for what, 4 or 5 days. And I had a hard time even thinking about throwing it out. And today I was just finally, okay, it's going in the trash. But I kept thinking, because like I ripped it in a certain way where both eyes were on separate pieces of paper. And the eyes were probably my favorite part of the whole thing. And I kept thinking, surely there's something I could do with this. And darn it.
There's so much you could do with that, with the eyes being on separate pieces.
Yeah.
You know, and you do a whole nother piece and you combine two pieces, you know, two different faces with, just like so many themes and paths you can go down.
Anyway. Okay. Next time, I'll keep it.
Make sure you put into your week planning. I think I may try that, you know, where I find inspiration.
Yeah. I know that's actually one of the questions in Positive Painters like this week is like, where does inspiration strike? And when it does, what do you do? And like one guy, he responded with when he runs. And when I first read that, I was like, all I think about is it done yet?
I know, right?
But I'm glad he finds like there are runners out there, and I get it. Okay, what do I actually need to do? This is way more fun talking than playing.
I know it is. It's fun doing it. I mean, we go down these little rabbit holes and have squirrel moments, but that's okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, review membership cancellation confirmation email sequence. Okay, business. That one's green. All right. Okay, Monday, I know I need to work on that. So that's actually due. So videos for a newsletter. me see. I can't draw a straight line on this thing to save my life.
It takes practice.
Let's see. Then that one. I was also going to ask you. All right. I know in our when we did that lunch and learn, we talked about some white space and kind of building in that personal time.
Yep.
And then I'm reading that book, rereading for like the 4th time. And I did make it through it like the 4th time. But anyway, The Artist's Way, you know how they talk about like the, what is it, the artist's dates?
Yes.
Do you do that?
You know, my initial answer was going to be no.
Mm-hmm.
But I do them with myself. Like today, I was just so tired of sitting in front of my computer. And I think because I sat in 5 days straight at a conference in front of my computer since it was virtual.
Yeah.
And I just got up for an hour and did a couple resin things that I've been wanting to try because I'm still trying to master that resin thing. So in a way, that was kind of a date. But it was with myself. It wasn't with another group. And with the virtual thing, I've always wanted to start doing was set up, Thursday evening, an art event on Thursday evenings. We all meet on Zoom, have our cocktail or our beverage of choice, and just talk all things art while we're creating something. But I think they need to be themed.
Yeah.
Like the theme of it could be, in 2 hours, create a winter scene using your medium of choice, as an example. But I'd love to start doing that. Or, in 2 hours, sketch, adamant objects from a classroom, still lifes from a classroom, with the theory of maybe making it into a surface pattern of some sort.
That's a neat idea. Yeah.
Yeah,
those are neat ideas.
But I've thought about doing that for that very reason, is to get those artist dates. Yeah. But I think weekly is a little much. I think bi-weekly would probably be better.
Yeah.
But
let's see, what am I doing? Okay. Oh. Okay.
I'll tell you, the best thing about the digital planner is the undo button. But it's like Wednesdays and Fridays are kind of my art days. I'm trying to set aside a couple days a week that I'm just doing art and nothing else, just creating and having fun.
I'm finding like Thursday mornings, like this morning, I went live on YouTube just to paint. I didn't really have a purpose. I was like recording it, and then it's going to be part of the course. So it's, so I'm kind of painting, and if some people want to paint with me, they can. And every now and then I say something. So I'm using like Thursday mornings is kind of like doing that multi-purpose. So I was working on the winter scene. I only got to paint for an hour and a half. And we met with our financial advisor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Yeah. Well, he makes it entertaining. And it was via Zoom, so that was really nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Um,
Let's see. I'm actually further ahead on the planner thing than I thought I was. I mean, it's just a lot of marketing stuff that I need to do. Why is my pen not working all of a sudden? Well, little stinker.
I was thinking about this morning. You know how, like, back in the day when you worked in the corporate office,
Uh-huh.
come Friday afternoon, you were just like, if anybody schedules a 3 o'clock meeting, I'm just going to kill them. And,
Yep. Exactly.
and I still kind of have that mentality today. I'm like, I come about 2 o'clock on Fridays, I'm done. I'm just
Yep.
mentally done. And I got to I was in the car rider line to drop off Emily at school. And is when that kind of started making sense to me because, we go to school from like 8 to 2 or 8 to 3, and then we're done. So we've been trained all of our lives to work from like 8 to 3.
Yep.
And so now it's like, now we kind of got to break free of that habit. And I still, Fridays, that is one I just haven't been able to break. But I'll work Saturday, but I always take off Sunday. And usually it's like Wednesday afternoon, I don't want to do anything.
You're right.
So my work week has kind of evolved to what I feel like instead of what I should be doing based on corporate world and school world.
I know. That's kind of where I'm at too. And that's the other thing that I like about planning my weeks like I'm doing with a blog. There's no time tied to most of these things other than appointments.
Yeah.
So if I decide like today, when I should have been doing something else I had on my calendar, which was a video, I did the resin thing. So like you, I mean, I may do that. I may do the video on Saturday then and be in a much better place mentally to do that because I took that mental break.
Yeah.
To do the project, So anyway.
It's freedom. It gives us freedom.
Yep, exactly. Coco, my little pup wants up.
Aww.
And I'm trying to leave more white space in my calendar than I normally do because I'm finding I'm getting more distracted or more off course the last 2 weeks. And I find my most productive day is Monday. Have you found your most productive day yet?
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then like Thursday and Friday are more creative.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Monday and Tuesday, I usually have videos and video editing for newsletter, and then the new one that we added like a couple weeks ago with the art business coaching tips. So that's video for that is Monday. Both of those are like Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, and then like today, what is today? Anyway, so so I'll sit down. I find like when it comes time to write, I have I'm best in the morning.
Yeah, I am too in the morning.
Like sitting with a cup of coffee and just, and dictation is also awesome. So sometimes I'll just like da 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 da, and then organize it later.
Yep. What are you dictating into, like Google Docs or something?
If I'm on my Mac, it's got the dictation built in.
Yeah.
And with PC, you can enable the dictation and do it in the notepad because I don't have Word. But I haven't found a way to make it work in Google. So I just use the notepad and it works really well. And, I've got a decent microphone. It's this thing.
Right.
And it gets most of the words right.
Okay.
I would say that the Microsoft product is better than the Mac, because the Mac doesn't actually put punctuation in it unless you specify,
Oh,
whereas the one on the PC really kind of, it does a good job guessing.
Windows One out. I haven't used dictation in a long time. I think last time I used dictation, our company had some software, Dragon something, or I know it was a green logo. I can't remember what it was called, but um, I'll just start doing that.
Yeah, it's my mom is actually the one that got introduced me to it, because like there are times I'll get these long texts that make no sense, and because woven equals Wolverine apparently, and
Okay.
so yeah, but she's the one that introduced me to him. Let's see, what am I doing? Okay, I'm trying to evaluate what I did last week that I didn't plan for, that I might need to do this week. Okay, like these two tasks. So these two tasks I need to make sure I handle again until it just kind of becomes part of my overall process.
Oh, that's right. That's what I didn't do. I didn't do my one-page planner guide yet. Okay, the other wonderful thing about a digital planner is the ability to copy and paste.
Yeah, buddy. All right, I still want to, so I finally, there's a database I've been working on for pricing.
Yeah.
And I finally got that templatized. That was not on my list of things to do this past week, but it was something I started, like a year ago?
Uh-huh.
And I've been using it for 2 years. So 2 or 3 years. Since
Okay.
2018 is when I started it in Airtable.
Okay.
So now I got that templatized, but then I got another database that I'm going to make it into a template that I want to find time to work on. And that one's the statistics, like keeping track of your goals. So maybe I'll do that here.
Oh, that's what I.
No, I don't think I have time there.
Oh, it's about work on that. The things I carry over from week to week are definitely my procrastination items. The third week I've carried over my sales funnel and I haven't done it yet.
Oh, funny enough, that's one of my items. Well, sort of. It's on my task list every quarter. I'm supposed to review the membership cancellation confirmation email sequence. So that one's on this week.
Yeah. I really need to do it. I just haven't gotten to it.
Yeah, I think, well, if you write best in the morning, that's probably when to tackle that.
Yeah. I need to do some research on it too, like what it really needs to look like.
Yeah. There's a good book by Donald Miller.
Uh-huh.
It's called shoot, hold on one second. I can get it for you. Okay. This one. There it is. Expert Secrets Underground Playbook. Russell Bronson. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've, put little tags in it, underlined it. It's got little drawings every now and then, so breaks it up. All right, rigid email sequence.
Okay, I'll check that out.
Yeah, it's a good easy read. I think it was up until probably about page 200 is about when I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. And then it just kind of gets a little redundant, I think. But overall, really good book.
Okay. I think I got my week pretty well jotted out.
I better than I am. I'm bad about filling out this next page, like the connect with and calls. Grateful.
Yes, I know. I've been bad about it too this year, but it's there and I'm going to get better.
Yeah.
My goal for January was to get back to actually planning my weeks. So I got away from it with the pandemic and losing my mom and everything last year, that now I'm trying to get back into it again.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes you feel good.
Yep. Makes you feel accomplished. So
I feel pretty good about this. I just need to probably come up with an affirmation. Last week it was just be patient. Yeah, I'll do a little more research into that one this week. I feel like I need to be more profound,
Yeah. Well, I guess that's about it for this week.
Yeah, this was a lot more fun than normal.
Yes, it was. And I think it'll be a lot more fun for the viewers too. So I appreciate you stepping in to be a guest this week and next, and we'll have another fun topic picked out for next week.
Yeah.
I just want to tell everyone out there, you got any questions, be sure to jot them in the comments. We'll be happy to answer what we can. And again, you can always reach out to me at hello@juliemstudios.com. Be sure to check stephanieweaverartist.com out. And if you need some great coaching, she's the one to go to. And until next time, plan mindfully.